Thanks for everybody coming out today. You know, a good first game for us. Played a really good opponent. Florida International's been to a couple bowl games in a row, won them both, and you know, Coach Davis and his staff do a super job. You know, I thought we had an advantage over them. They weren't quite sure exactly what we were going to do offensively. I thought we came out of the box fast on offense. Probably could have scored the first 8 times we had the ball if we hadn't shot ourselves in the foot with either foolish penalties or snap over the head one time. And, you know, that's good. You know, we got to work through that stuff. I thought on defense, played really well through 3 quarters. And then it was good to get out there and do some things in the kicking game because it's, you know, hard to replicate that in practice. You know, you always worry about that first ball game because you don't know, you know, the blocking, the tackling. I don't do a whole lot of it in preseason camp, and it's, you know, the blocking part we do, but the tackling part we don't, just to keep us healthy and fresh and you know, have all hands on deck. And our guys did a pretty good job of tackling. I think we had 11 missed tackles in the game, and a lot of those were leverage mistakes. But overall, a very good first ball game to come out and compete in. And, you know, and then we've got a real big one this week against Auburn. You know, they've got, you know, all 4- and 5-star players that they've recruited over the years. Coach Malzahn and his staff do a super job coaching those guys. I've been a big fan of his. He's kind of, you know, come up the same way as me, a former high school coach, and made his way up from a coordinator and done a super job there at Auburn. So this will be a tremendous challenge for us Saturday evening. Any questions?
Given that you guys played on a Thursday night, did you get to kind of grab a seat at the house and be able to watch?
Yeah, I actually did. It was fun. We came in on Friday morning early and graded the film. Had our guys come in Friday, and we kind of worked the kinks out a little bit, and then watched the FIU game and put that to bed. And then I gave the guys Saturday and Sunday off. We came back, you know, Labor Day, Monday, and had a good workout. You know, so really got one more workout than we normally get for a Saturday game. I usually don't do much on Monday other than lift and review the opponent that we just got done playing videotape. So that's good to get a jump start.
On Saturday, what were your initial thoughts on Auburn and the way they played?
Well, they played a great opponent, you know, and Oregon's a, you know, really quality football program. And, you know, I thought I think he was there in the spring, I believe, the quarterback. You know, so he is a redshirt freshman quarterback, but he's had the benefit of going through spring football and the summer. So he's got some experience. But I thought he did a really nice job and got better throughout the ball game. They've got great speed all over the field, you know, in the secondary, linebackers. Their defensive line can really run. One of the guys scooped a fumble up and took off running. You don't see that very much from a big guy like that. And then on offense, they've got all sorts of weapons. So really talented football team.
You kind of alluded to it, but with Nix not having the best start that he probably wanted, but being able to bounce back near the end, was it the moxie, I guess, that he had?
Well, I think that's part of it. You know, he's got a lot of, you know, playing at a high level of high school football. It's going to help you. I think there's a big difference, you know, going from a high level of high school football or coming from a lower level of high school football. Some guys, it's difficult for them to make that jump, and it takes them a year. But you know, he's got you know, great football blood in his system. You know, and he's, you know, his dad's a coach, so he's been around it all his life. I thought he did a very nice job for his first game out there. And you got to put the first game perspective in there as well. You know, you watch that. I came in and watched the end of that Notre Dame Louisville game last night. And, you know, that guy's a great quarterback for Notre Dame. It took him a little while to get going, you know, because it was his first ball game.
With this new offense and just how quick McMillan is getting out of his hands, how much do you feel like that will help your offensive line?
Oh, it's going to help us a bunch. You know, you can't sit back there and pat the ball, or you're going to have problems. You know, they got a whole bunch of big guys with single-digit numbers, and when that happens, they're usually pretty good.
When you watch other games, or do you find yourself maybe trying to call along with coaches being the
No, I'm not. I just,
Watching, or you try to watch personnel?
I had a buddy over, and my wife was there. Buddy was staying over. I'm just drinking a beer, watching the game.
I was just
Yeah,
curious,
just relaxing.
With the Auburn game in particular, you know, taking.
Yeah, we
the
watched
advantage
it.
Instead of playing for the field goal.
You know, it worked out.
Sure.
Coach, with the penalties you guys had in your opener, I know that's something you wanted to address this week. Justin was saying that he thought it was first game jitters. Do you agree with that? And
I think
how
that's
do you
part of it.
address that?
I think that's part of it. You know, the big ones that we try to eliminate are the pre-snap and post-play penalties. You know, those are ones anybody in the crowd can call. And most teams are about 50-50. So, you know, the best teams I've had have been in the high 20s, pre-snap penalties. And when you do that, you're a pretty disciplined team. When you have 50% of them, though, it's showing that you have lack of discipline. And so we've got to eliminate those. Once the ball's been snapped, you know, they called a holdout here on the perimeter on our first drive. I thought our guy got after him, but that's his opinion, you know. And once the ball's been snapped, it's going to be his opinion. There's some other times I thought there was an interference they didn't call, but that was their opinion. But the pre-snap and the post-play, those are the ones that we can, you know, manage and stay away from.
I know you kind of joke about some of the defensive linemen with single-digit numbers, but I mean, with guys like Sample and Johnson for y'all that went to single-digit numbers this year, is it kind of like a?
I guess it is. You know, I try to stay out of that, the uniform stuff. It's irrelevant to me, you know, but guys like that, I guess it's good for recruiting too. So, you know, we got all sorts of helmet combinations and jerseys and all that stuff. I let Devin Hubbard pick all that stuff out every week. And you know, I tell him, you play real good, everybody's going to want to have your number. It can be 61. They'll want to have that number, you know, so play real good.
Coach, you've gone to Oklahoma, you've gone to Ohio State, you've gone to some big-time programs, Auburn's in that mix. Justin said that this team, the culture now, we expect to win now. With games like with this on the schedule and the team that you've been building over these last few years, there should be an intimidation factor for your squad on Saturday.
God, I hope not. You know, I told our guys we're going to go over there Friday and we're going to walk around the field, and it's kind of like Hoosiers. You know, it's going to be 120 yards long and 53 1/3 yards in width, and they're going to have 10-yard end zone and all that kind of stuff. So we'll walk around out there and take all our pictures, you know, get the selfies going and all that. And Saturday we're going in there for business, you know, and playing the very best we can, because we're going to have an opportunity to win this game. We're going to have to play great.
There were 7 group of 5 teams that beat Power 5 teams this past weekend. Do you feel like those groups are closing the gap? They're a lot closer?
I think it's a lot closer than people think. And then you also got week 1. That plays into it a lot. You don't see as many of those things happen week 8 or week 9. But, you know, Boise's been doing it for years. You know, they've done it for years and years and years. So it was at the other team's place too, right? So
To have it be more often, though, do you attribute it to the transfer portal, more teams running offenses that are tougher to scheme for? I mean, what do you attribute it to?
well, number one, there's a lot of good players out there. You know, there's like Patrick Johnson. We're his first Division I offer with a week and a half left in recruiting, and then he picked up a couple others. You know, but he's pretty good. You know, he didn't have much going on. Then you have some other guys that everybody's recruiting and they can't play. You know, so it's beauty's in the eye of the beholder, and you just got to do a good job in the evaluation process, you know, to get the right guys to your school. You know, not everybody's going to be a fit here at Tulane and in New Orleans. We got to find those guys, and we got to find Division I football players, you know, and we've got a lot more of them.
All of your running backs were effective in the open. You've got
Yeah.
a lot of them, and you found a way to use them, and just how happy were you?
Well, I think Will's done a super job of getting those guys all involved. And Coach Fobbs is, you know, the best thing about him is they're an unselfish room. Because, you know, in this day and age, that doesn't happen very often, where guys are rooting for other guys when they do things right, and these guys all do. And I think it's led by Darius Bradwell. You know, he's doing some things that he hadn't had to do here his first few years, such as blocking. He had a nice block on one of the plays, pass play. We slid the wrong way, and he had to pick up a defensive end and allowed Justin to have an extra count to throw the ball to Mooney over here in the corner. So, there's a lot of good players in that room.
You can bring a guy like Corey off the bench.
Yeah, he's, you watch him in practice, and I told Will this a couple weeks ago. I said, now he can get in the game now, and he's going to have a different gear. He's fast. I mean, 20.7, 200 meters is fast. There's not very many guys who can run that fast in the world. He's one of them.
Really, how much do you feel like someone like Amari Jones fits this offense in particular, and just the versatility he's able to have?
Well, he can do a lot of things. He can catch the ball. He runs great routes. You get him out there. He can start for you at receiver, start for you at back. He can start for you super back position that we've got him at. He's one of those Swiss Army knives. He does everything. He does everything well. Catch punts, kickoffs. You could run him down on a kickoff team and he'd be good. And then he loves practicing. He's, maybe the hardest practicing guy we've got. He's certainly in the top 5. I know that.
Not a little off topic, but what were your thoughts about Rod Taylor making that 53?
Really proud of Rod. It's a heck of a deal for him. He's worked extremely hard, so proud of him.
Have you had a chance to reach out to him at all?
Yeah, we talked a little bit yesterday. John LeGlue was out here to practice today, too. Just got picked up for the practice squad with the Saints, so really happy for those guys.
Anything else?
Thank y'all.